second bill?
Ish.
Second. We don't do anything to anybody when they do their second bill. Just a reminder. Okay.
Can you tell me what code section that is?
Exactly. Okay.
We got a couple lawyers in the room.
So I rise today to ask you to vote favorably on SB545, which is a bill that can help save lives, teach responsibility in our children, and alleviate some of the burden on our overwhelmed healthcare system. So imagine if we could pass a bill with the potential to save thousands of lives and empower our students. And that's exactly what this bipartisan bill would do. It expands our state's existing CPR and defibrillation training to include basic first aid training and recommends a minimum of 1 hour of instruction to these life-saving techniques to 9th and 10th graders who have health requirement. And so that would get us many more students as opposed to just saying 9 through 12. So there was a time when the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts of America were filling the gap for that education. At their peak, the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts had millions of members each. And in just the year between 2019 and 2020, which doesn't even take into account the impact of COVID, membership has dropped 43% for the Boy Scouts, 30% for the Girl Scouts, and now those organizations have barely over 1 million members each. We also know at the same time that we have a shortage of EMTs and paramedics, which also predated COVID. So as a result, many of our young people are now not getting the basic training they need to be prepared for emergency situations. We already know the benefits of CPR, which we added about a decade ago to the requirement, and that training to our educational curriculum almost 10 years ago has helped to ensure that Georgia is able to improve on the figures that show that not even a third of people who have sudden cardiac arrest receive CPR from a bystander, and if that's the case, then only 10% survive. So first aid training prepares us to save even more lives, and for example, the American Red Cross already has a program ready specifically designed for high schoolers called FAST, First Aid for Severe Trauma Training, and it equips young people to save lives, keeps them safe in emergency situations, teaches them how to communicate in emergencies and stop severe bleeding. All of this training is great for students no matter where they live, but I want to point out for those in our rural communities the additional benefit where hospitals have closed and more people than ever are living too far away from immediate life-saving medical care. The longer that people have to spend waiting for an ambulance, the more likely it is that their injuries will worsen. So if COVID-19 pandemic has proven anything, it's that we need to be better prepared for everything. When there are shortages, our healthcare workers must make some of the hardest decisions imaginable, and we can make it a little easier for them with this bill. We have the tools to save lives. Now is the time to make sure those tools are in many hands as possible. I ask for your favorable consideration of SB 545, and I will take any questions if there are any.
Apparently you must have done a lot better presenting your first bill because you have a number of questions on this bill.
I'll take them.
We'll start with the very serious senator from Roswell.